How is LinkedIn different from other social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and how should one look at LinkedIn as a platform?
So LinkedIn is purely of a professional networks wherein the post, the content, the audience that you see consists of professionals. So you won't see a dancing video on LinkedIn because that is not the right audience for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is purely for professional networking, which really differentiates from other professional networks.
Hello everyone, Manoj here, product manager and content creator. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I think the most common topic that many of you had been asking is about LinkedIn, right? Because of the job market and building a personal brand. So it's the go-to platform to build a personal brand as a working professional, or even if you are a founder to build your distribution, LinkedIn is a go-to platform. So I had invited Utsav, who is a founder of Supergrow, which helps people to create content and grow their audience on LinkedIn and also engage with other fellow creators. Thanks a lot, Utsav, for joining in. And Utsav is also a product manager before. So as he's building something for LinkedIn, he would have end-to-end understanding of how platform works, how can one build a good profile. So I have curated a list of questions. Before that, if you can give a quick introduction to the audience, it would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me on this such a cool podcast. It's been pleasure to be here. To give you a quick intro, I started my SaaS journey back in 2017. Then I worked in multiple roles across HR, customer success, and then lastly product management. And then in 2023, we started a product called Supergrow AI, which helps professionals build their personal brand on LinkedIn. I, along with my co-founder David, we are building this since last 2 years now, and it's been quite a ride.
Got it. Perfect. I think I also went through the tool. It's really useful. It has a lot of features like carousel creation, scheduling, and also to how you can create content and look at other people's content ideas, and also you can engage with them. It's really interesting. You should check it out. I'll attach the link in the description. But before we start everything, I want to ask you a basic question, right? So maybe many of the people are already there on LinkedIn, but they have a very wrong understanding about the platform. How is LinkedIn different from other social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and how should one look at LinkedIn as a platform?
Oh yeah, so first of all, LinkedIn is so different when it comes to other social media platforms, especially Instagram and TikTok, right? So LinkedIn is purely of a professional networks wherein the post, the content, the audience that you see consists of professionals. So you won't see a dancing video on LinkedIn because that is not the right audience for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is purely for professional networking, which really differentiates from other professional networks.
Got it. So the other platforms might have other people or other random content, but LinkedIn is mainly focused on like professional content, like working professionals. So the next question is, I think this I'm solely asking for college students. So maybe when I was in college, I didn't know about LinkedIn at start, right? And I feel bad for that. If I would have known it before, I would have utilized it a lot better. I created my LinkedIn profile late during third year, I think so. Then it took me time to start posting content. Creating profile is one part, staying active is a different game together. So when should one create a profile on LinkedIn, and how should they utilize it?
Okay, the short answer is as soon as you learn about LinkedIn, you should create your profile. That is the short answer. And the long one is ideally the use of LinkedIn is when you want to let's say probably create a business or probably get a job, right? So that's where LinkedIn comes into the picture. So it's best when you are into college and you create a LinkedIn profile and then be active on LinkedIn as much as you can. Right? Share your journey, what you do on college, so that the other recruiters will get attracted to you.
Got it. So maybe as soon as you join college, I think most of the people create their LinkedIn profile when they start their professional journey, like after their first job or whenever they are switching. So it's too late to start. Yeah. And next is, let's say, while creating a LinkedIn profile, what are the key things one should consider, or what are the mistakes that they should avoid?
See, this is what I told my users as well. When it comes to optimizing or creating your LinkedIn profile, treat it as your landing page, right? So whenever a user visits your landing page, do everything that you will do in order to get them interested in your profile or in you, right, as a person. So you must have a clear headshot profile, then with a nice background, obviously. Then write a cool bio about you, where the reader can actually learn about yourself, what you do, how you can help them if you are into business.
Yeah. So, Utsav, if you can also give an example of your LinkedIn profile and share, it would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So here is my profile, if you can see on the screen, right? So
Yeah.
if you see, I have my brand color, which is slight blue. If you see across my LinkedIn profile, you will see only blue color. So this is really important. Not the beginning, right? But when you grow and when you be active on LinkedIn, this is really important to be like everything on brand. You have your colors, typography, etc. But yeah, forget about it when you're starting up. So now the first thing people will see is your banner, right? So on banner, the best practice is to tell who you are or how you help the reader or the audience, right? So whenever someone visits a profile, they'll see this banner first. So if you see my profile, I have clearly mentioned I help people grow their audience on LinkedIn. And it's like they can start for free. I also added a quick glimpse of what the app looks like just to give people of understanding how does the app looks. So this will give a clear understanding of what I do, right? How I help. The second thing is my profile picture. This is really a good headshot. I don't have a clear profile picture, but it's good if you can get a crisp, clear profile picture here with a nice background. Don't post those side faces and those cool pictures, right? That might not work here because this is again a professional network. People will treat you as a professional person, right? So here it's ideal to have a headshot picture with a front facing, a smiling face. So that is number two. The third thing people will see is your headline, right? So this is where most people make a mistake by entering a lot of keywords. So entrepreneur, startup, VC, etc., etc. Don't do that, right? Nobody cares. What people care about is what you do and how you can help. So this is my simple funda of when it comes to writing a headline. So here I'm a co-founder, right? And I help people to level up on LinkedIn. So as simple as that. No need to make it fancy and add a lot of keywords because this is not SEO or you're not trying to rank on Google, right? So this is really important. This will like help people to scroll below your profile. If you haven't written this headline really good, they might bump off and close your profile. So this is
Got it.
something which you need to take care of. Then next bit
Just a
is
cross question, like when you are a product manager, what was your headline, right? So how should that headline be? Like if someone is a product manager, what was your headline at that time?
yeah, I based on my understanding now after working on Supergrow, I would write something like B2B SaaS product manager, helping people whatever my tool does. Help. So in my last company, we were helping people do cold emailing, right? So I would probably write helping people do cold emails at scale,
Got it.
right? So first is your role and then what you do. Very simple. Okay. Then we
Yeah.
have about section wherein you about is basically a brief intro about yourself, your journey, or something that might attract the viewer or the reader. Right? So here in my case, if you see, I've written my entire brief introduction of how I came up to Supergrow, what I've done before, how was my academic journey, everything. Under this brief intro, you'll also I also written something funny just to make it look human, right? So this is what I do in my free time. I also have mentioned what I do currently. So in that, like in case if users want to check this out, they can do so. So about is all about you, what you do, how you do in brief, right? Because this here you won't be able to on the headline, you won't be able to write a lot of content. So the next thing is about section where you go in depth and write everything about yourself. Then yeah, featured you can ignore for now. This is not required if you're starting up, but in case you have a business or a service that you sell to your users, this is what you should do. Either you add your customer case studies, you add your customer testimonials, and a link to book a demo with you, right? So this is how it looks. User will see what you do, right? Second, they will see, nice, this is good human. He's smiling. He's looking at me. then the headline, what he does, how he helps. Then they'll read about you in detail, and then they'll see, oh, here is your chance to build trust actually, right? By showcasing your testimonials. And then the last step would be they'll book a demo with you. Right? So this is how it works when it comes to your business and services. But in case of students, you can skip this part feature, or else you can also mention your projects if you have worked on any interesting projects on college. You can add it here. That will build trust among your users. Right. So yeah, that is
Got it.
it, and then just you will have your activities and yeah, audience here as well. If you I have seen a lot of people make this mistake. They don't like even me. If you see here, right? I haven't mentioned uh, what I did here.
The
But yeah, this is a good point. I edit this because I haven't looked at my profile in so long. But yeah, I urge people to add what you did in the company that you work for. So that will help the next recruiter understand what you did in your previous role, right? So in this case, before starting my entrepreneurial journey, this is what I did. I worked at product led motion. Under this, if you see, I might have added. Yeah, here you go. So this is a uh, detailed work that I did as a product analyst. So this will help the other person understand what you can do, that you did in your role. It would be good if you can mention numbers here similar to this. I help separate kind of product led growth and experiments and increase the conversion by 12%, right? So the specific numbers will help build more trust.
got it.
Not really something uh, I would be able to add more value, but yeah, just mention your education details that you have. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. And then you could also add skills. But I'm still yet to understand what is the importance of the skills here on LinkedIn. But yeah, this is what I have. But yeah, so far, like up till experience, yeah, your job experiences matters a lot.
It was perfect. Cool. So I think the next question is the most common thing. What's the difference between first, second, and third connection? You see like a number beside the user, right? What does that mean on LinkedIn?
Okay. Yeah. So first connections are the connections that you're connected directly with, right? Those are your first connections. Second connections are the connections of your first connection. So let's say if we both are connected on LinkedIn and someone else is connected to you, right? So that third person would be my second connection because that he or she is connected to you and you and me are connected as a first connection. So that is second connection. First and second is probably you see most.
Got it. The next thing is, I think once profile is created, but the major problem comes in creating content, right? So what does a student should post? What should a working professional post? And even before jumping into that, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, Instagram reels, etc., where people say you should post daily, you should post once in a week. There are a lot of different opinions around that. But according to you, let's say for a student or working professional, what is the frequency they should post? That's the first question. And second question is what kind of ideas they can post? Any content ideas that you can give?
Okay, so first of all, consistency matters a lot. Don't run behind, let's say, I need to post 5 times a week. That is not required when you start, right? Post as much as you can. That's what I would say. Like in a week, if you are posting 2 times a week, that is totally fine. But you need to do this consistently over a period of time, right? So every week, do 2 posts, and then gradually you will increase this once you learn how to write, right? What types of post works well for you, then it will be gradually increased. So start with whatever you can to be consistent. So consistency is the key here, right? So yeah, and the second question, oh, this is really interesting. What should someone post? See, for students, I would say start posting whatever you are doing at your college. So for example, if I'm a student, I'm working on some projects at my college, right? So I post about that project, the entire journey. How did I started the project, right? What is happening currently when we are building something or we are talking to some users. Post about those conversations, right? So if you are doing some say hackathon in your college, or say if you are participating any such hackathons, right? Post your entire life journey on LinkedIn in a professional way, obviously, right? What you did, how was the hackathon? did you won or lost? Like post everything you can. Or probably you're working on some side gigs, right? So post about them also, right? What things you are working on. Or say, let's say you're not doing anything, just learning, right? So post about your learnings. What did you learn today? What are the books that you read? Or in case if you hear a podcast, right? Post about those podcasts, your takes on that podcast, right? So this will be helpful for students to get some ideas, right? Because in college days, students are mostly interested in learning something about any specific topics. Let's say AI, right? So if you're learning some new stuff about AI, post about it on LinkedIn. So here is what I learned. These are my takeaways, like this.
Got it.
So yeah, that is for students. And yeah, for professionals, I would say first go and build in public. Similar to students, share everything that is happening with your business. So we as a founders, we do everything. We share numbers as well, right? We build in public. We share our stories. We share our product usage metrics. We share what's not good with our business right now, right? So, for example, churn is something that is killing us right now. So last month we posted about it. So we do everything and work in public. We share to our audience because most of our users are connected with us and they see that hey, these two guys are building this and posting about it on LinkedIn. So that helps us build trust. That could be number one post idea. Second could be like list down the questions that your ICP have, your targeted audience have, and then try to resolve with your expertise. So in our case, our users have a problem of engaging with others on LinkedIn, right? So they have to build a list. They have to engage. There is a lot of backend flow, and this process entirely takes a lot of time. So this is where a post idea comes into the picture, right? So we saw this as a problem, and then we'll plug our offerings. Let's say if we don't have any offerings, we'll just try to share a simpler version of doing engagement on LinkedIn, right? So try to identify problem and then share your solutions. So
Got it.
yeah, and then personal stories probably because the readers or the viewers need to understand, need to see your personal side of things as well. That will help build more trust. Yeah, and then I can go on and on, but yeah, these are some basic understandings of what type of content someone should post.
Got it. I think this would be really helpful to kickstart and get started with consistency. I think the point you told on consistency is important. So even I've done it. I used to post 5 days a week, and suddenly I'm running out of content and not posting for a month. Uh, cool. So next is it's a new section I've introduced in the podcast. It's known as rapid fire. So I'll ask you this or that, and you need to choose one. Okay. So these are more specific to LinkedIn only. So first question is carousel or image,
Yeah, Ranjan, any day.
video or textual content. As LinkedIn
Text,
has introduced videos,
still text.
posting daily or scheduling posts,
Oh,
which
scheduling the
like
post.
posting manually or scheduling.
Yeah, scheduling the post.
Done. So let's jump into the next question, which is one of the most frequently asked questions. How should one use LinkedIn to leverage job, right? For job hunt or getting their next job. So according to you, how should one leverage that?
I think the previous question that you asked, right? How a college student can post or can be active on LinkedIn. I think the same principle applies here. The only difference that I would share here is try to connect with the company that you wish to work for, right? Or probably someone who is working there who might help you get a referral or probably get an interview there, and then just be active on LinkedIn. If I have to share an example, right? So I was working at a company called Sales Handy, and I was pretty active on LinkedIn back then. I tried to share a content, and then that's when I got an opportunity from LinkedIn itself. So the other company reached out to me and say, "Hey, we like your content on LinkedIn, and we'd love to see if you are exploring the opportunities." I haven't applied anywhere. It was pure inbound, just because of my LinkedIn content and me being active on LinkedIn.
Got it. Yeah, I think the major problem is like getting the interview call in today due to like huge supply of candidates, right? So if you're able to get into the first round via your personal brand or LinkedIn content is very useful. Perfect. And next thing is, what is your view on building a personal brand on LinkedIn, right? So just to break the question more simpler for the audience. So let's say there's a person who is just posting on LinkedIn, whereas there's another person who is posting to build a personal brand. So how should they approach it? So if somebody wants to build a personal brand, what are the key things they should keep in mind while posting, creating their profile? I think couple of things you told is like the brand color and all. That's about you being a founder of a company. But let's say I'm not a founder, but let's say I want to build a personal brand of, let's say, of my name, for example, right? In a specific niche. Let's take product management. So how should one go about that?
Yeah, first of all, my view on personal brand, right? So it's I think it's must in 24 and 25. Everyone should have their own personal brand, regardless of the platform, be it on LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you can build your brand, have that audience, right? So that is must. No one should avoid it. That's what I feel. And nothing, you just have to post content. That is it. Forget about brand colors and all. Then you post and engage consistently. You're building your brand.
So it's about connecting to quality audience and quality post and consistency on a specific topic. Like let's say in your case you're doing related to LinkedIn, I should do something related to product management or in whichever thing I want to build a person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like if your plan is to switch uh, to a higher role or to another company, share about your product management expertise. Break down some critical questions that PM should be able to crack while working a job. So, for example, how someone should build a feature. What are the metrics that someone should track? How does the GTM should look like? So, while posting about this quality content, the viewers or the attractors will see that hey, Manoj has a good experience on product management side. So they might reach out and see if you are exploring, and hence you are building the brand.
Got it. I think next question is, in your opinion, what is the most underutilized feature of LinkedIn?
I think underutilized feature is poll, but I'm not
Okay.
sure about the impact and the ROI that it has.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think
I
I've
think
also used one or two times poll, but yeah, it's a very useful thing. You can do great user research with poll from a
exactly.
wide variety of products. And next, I think you talked a lot about connecting to people, right? Engaging. So, how should one build their network on LinkedIn? Who should they connect with and whose connection request they should accept? So, let me give you like a short story, right? When I was a student, I used to be like, yeah, whatever profile you see, you send a connection request, right? And you also accept, seeing like, yeah, I'm like a celebrity, people are sending me requests, so I accept all the requests. At that time maybe I was just new to the platform, right? But the impact I'm seeing it now or later. So how should one keep that in mind while starting itself so that it doesn't affect them on a
Yeah, interesting question. So many people miss this. First, I assume that everyone who is on LinkedIn is for a purpose, either to get a job, in my case, to get a business, to get a leads, right? In some popular celebrities, they want to build their brands, right? So everyone has their purpose. Now, here is how LinkedIn algo works as far as I know. When you post something on LinkedIn, LinkedIn will populate your post to your first degree connections. And your first degree connection will see your post, and LinkedIn will check whether your first degree connections are finding your post valuable, your content valuable, and whether they are engaging with your post or not. If your first degree connections are not engaging or are not finding value in your content, and then hence they are not engaging, then to other LinkedIn users. So your second and third degree connections won't see your post. So everything boils down to your first degree connection. So now you see the importance of having a quality first degree connections in your LinkedIn account, right? You can't just go and accept everyone because then it will harm your reach, your purpose, or probably your goal of building, say, a brand on LinkedIn, right? So that has happened to me as well when I was working full time. So initially I was helping my past company to hire developers and engineers. Right. So when I started this business and I started posting on LinkedIn, I saw like almost 4 to 5 impressions on a post, which was way lower. And then understood this algorithm, right? I removed my entire first connections list because all of them were developers and
Hmm.
developers were not finding value in my post because was talking about LinkedIn, Supergrow, entrepreneurship. So that is obvious for them that this is something they won't find valuable. Hence my posts weren't getting those reach. So what I did, I removed almost all my connections who were into dev and PMs as well. And then I started afresh. I started building new connections. Then I was like, now I'm very cautious whom I get into my first degree connections because I see if they are active on LinkedIn or not, whether they
Got it.
post quality content or not, whether they are engaging with their audience or not. All those criteria are really important. So yeah, to answer your question, first degree connections is very critical if you wanted to build your LinkedIn profile. You can't
Got it.
just go and accept every connections that you receive on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So first, just to summarize, you should only build your first degree connection with who are your like core target audience based on your goal. So in your case, it's like other businesses, founders, or working professional who want to build a personal brand. Let's say my case, I need to connect with other PMs, SPMs, PPMs, or whoever is like. If I want to switch a job, I need to connect with bigger head of product. And I should also make sure they are active on LinkedIn, which means they are engaging with others' content they are also posting, so that I also get reach when I post some. Cool. So the last question is, I think AI is there. I think the first thing that AI does very good is content creation, right? And then it had come into different parts like video, audio. But initially, ChatGPT started as an intelligent chatbot which helps you create content. Now it has a lot of other application, analysis, image, video. But just to understand, like, how can one stay relevant with AI? So how much should they use AI in creating content? It should be like a full AI driven, or AI should assist you, or how you should use AI in the content creation process, specifically to in creating LinkedIn posts. And also more details on how Supergrow helps, because I went through the platform. It helps in creating content on LinkedIn. So
Okay, my main question. I think how much AI should people use when creating content? So, in terms of LinkedIn, I would say like everywhere you can't post entire AI written content because nowadays everyone knows how AI writes the content. So when you post an AI content, the other person who is reading the content will be easily be able to identify that hey, this is written through AI, right? And he won't engage with it and hence your trust will be broken. So I always say take AI's help to draft your first draft, right? Get your 70 to 80% work done. This is where Supergrow also comes into the picture that Supergrow will help you get a first draft to so that you remove your writer's block and then try to add your own thoughts about the content that is being generated through AI. Right? So 70-80% AI to get you a good start and then add your own masala, your own thoughts, right? To make it more humanized, to make it more look like you. I think
got it.
this is where I think AI will help people to create more content.
I think it's not like you AI should write and you just copy paste. Instead, AI
Yeah.
use AI as a assistant to brainstorm ideas or to build your first app. That should be the goal. Yeah. Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Utsav. I think it was very useful. You answered all the questions with examples. You also showed your profile, which was a very useful part. Thanks a lot, everyone.
No problem. Happy to be on this spot.
Thank you.